the ultimate guide to relocating to Chico, California in 2026. Here's something nobody tells you when you say the words, "I'm moving to California." You probably already accepted that buying a home here is out of reach. That California means $1 million starter home and a 2-hour commute and giving up a dream of having a backyard. And in many parts of this state, that assumption isn't entirely wrong. But Chico is different. According to the California Department of Transportation in 2026 county profile, the median price for Butte County is $444,000, which is roughly half of the statewide, which is $867,000, half in California. With a downtown you can actually walk, a park bigger than most people's hometowns, and an orchard that blooms pink and white every spring, like the whole valley is showing off. So if you're a family priced out of Sacramento or the Bay Area, or you're a remote worker who wants your paycheck to actually stretch further, or a retiree who is tired of paying coastal prices and coastal traffic, this video is for you. Because the real question isn't whether you can afford California, it's whether you know where to look. And today I'm going to show you exactly where to look. Hey there, welcome back to Living in Chico, California. I'm Alicia Fickert with my husband Keith Fickert. We are the Fickert team, and we help people move to and buy homes in Chico and the surrounding areas of Butte County. And we live here, we work here, and I walked buyers and sellers to every neighborhood we are going to talk about today. Here's my promise to you. By the end of the video, you're going to understand what it's like to actually live in Chico, what it feels like, the neighborhoods, and what neighborhood fits best for you, what the housing market and cost of living really looks like in 2026. And the one big thing about buying here that most out-of-town buyers completely miss until it costs them money. No hype, no doom, so you can make a smart decision. If that sounds like something that you came here for, then do me a quick favor, hit that like button so you subscribe and make sure that you don't miss the rest of my Chico relocation series. It generally helps the channel and it helps me know which topics you want to dive into. All right, let's get into it. What living in Chico actually feels like, the most important thing to understand. Let me start with the part of a spreadsheet that cannot be captured, because this is the part that either makes or breaks whether you will love it here. Chico is a college town wrapped around Sacramento Valley Farm Town. Sits right at the bottom floor, the flat level of the valley that starts to climb into the Sierra foothills. It's about 90 miles north of Sacramento and 170 miles north of San Francisco. So you're not isolated, but you're far enough out that life moves at a different pace. Close your eyes and picture a Tuesday morning here. You grab a coffee downtown, maybe at Stovall's, and the streets are lined with enormous mature trees and actually meet overhead and basically shadows the whole sidewalk. There's a reason the official nickname of Chico is the City of Trees or the City of Roses. Then you drive 5 minutes and you're at Bidwell Park, which is one of the largest parks in the entire country, stretching for miles from the edge of downtown up into the canyon. In the summers, families float and swim in the Sycamore Pool and a spring-fed swimming hole built right into the creek. In the fall, that same park turns gold and everyone and their dog is on the trails. Home to California State University of Chico, which everyone just says Chico State. This is a town with real energy. According to the university, it enrolls about 14,500 students. So during the school year, there's a young creative pulse to this place. And there's live music and legit food scene. And the Thursday night markets downtown shut down, actually, the downtown during the warm months. And yes, Sierra Nevada Brewery Company, which is the headquarters right here and runs one of the best tap houses in Northern California. And here's the feel of it that I love. It's a bike town. Chico has been recognized as a gold-level bike-friendly city from the Legion of American Bicyclists. And you can feel that. People actually ride to work, they ride to class, to farmers market, to school. It is the kind of place where you start recognizing faces at coffee shops within a month. Now, let's talk about the weather, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Summers are hot. We're talking about real Sacramento Valley heat with a stretch of days pushing past 100 degrees in July and August. If you've never lived in a city like an inland dry heat, come visit us in August before you commit, not just in April when everything is blooming and the weather is perfect. The trade-off is beautiful fall and spring seasons, along with mild winters where you're wearing a jacket, while your friends back east are shoveling snow. For most people who move here, October through May feels like a reward. That's the vibe. Small enough to feel like yours, big enough to have everything you need. Now, let's talk about where in that picture you're actually wanting to plant your flag. Because here's the thing, in Chico, the neighborhoods you choose changes the whole daily life. So let's walk you through them in the way that I would walk through with my clients. The neighborhoods where you actually want to live. Let me take you around town, and I want you to imagine living in each one, not just the price tag, but the lifestyle. The avenues. The avenues are located just north of downtown Chico and Chico State. This is one of those Chico most recognized older neighborhoods, known for their craftsmanship bungalows. They're really deep front porches that people sit out in, and then the mature trees and the homes filled with character. These buyers are drawn to these homes in the avenues because they can enjoy a more walkable lifestyle while still living in a residential neighborhood. Depending on the location, residents may be able to walk to or bike to Chico State, your downtown right there, coffee shops, restaurants, bookstores, parks, and the Saturday morning farmers market. The neighborhood is popular with young professionals, with professors, families, students, and buyers who really appreciate the older built homes and being close to all the energy downtown. Homes and streets can vary block by block, so buyers should explore the area at different times of the day to find out the location that fits best for them and their lifestyle. The avenues may cost more than some of the surrounding Chico neighborhoods, but buyers are willing to pay for the location and mature landscaping, walkability, and character that can't easily be recreated by a new construction. California Park, often called Cal Park by locals, is a planned community on the east side of Chico. It offers a very different lifestyle than the avenues. This is a very peaceful, man-made, lakes with landscaping, neighborhoods, and walking trails all throughout the community. The lakes and the trails are a major part of daily life in Cal Park. Residents can enjoy a quiet morning stroll, evening walks or jogs by the water, and views of geese and duck and turtles, otters, and other wildlife. The peaceful water and the mature trees help the neighborhood feel like a relaxing retreat. Cal Park is popular with buyers who want a calm, well-maintained community while remaining just minutes from shopping, restaurants, schools, medical service, and other parts of Chico. Homes in Cal Park often sell at a step above Chico's average, but many buyers are willing to pay for that due to the lake, the trails, the wildlife, the convenient location, and the peaceful lifestyle. According to Redfin, homes in Cal Park area. We're selling above a medium in the low $500,000 range in the early 2026. So it sits a step up from the town average, and people are happily paying that for that type of lifestyle. Amber Grove. If you want a newer construction, a 2-car garage at the end of a cul-de-sac where kids ride bikes until the street lights come on, this is where you would look. It's the classic home suburb feel, a very, very polished, a little newer, and generally a bit more home for your money than the historical core. North Chico, particularly the Kiefer area, is known for their larger homes, spacious lots, and acreage property. It's a great fit for buyers who want privacy, they want room for animals, RV, boats, or workshops. And it's a quieter country feel while you're still within an easy drive to town. Doe Mill and Miriam Park. Here's the one I geek over. Miriam Park is Chico's newer, walkable, new urbanist development on the southeast side, designed so you can live, eat, work within blocks. I call it the second downtown of Chico. Think modern homes, a brewery, restaurants you can stroll to, and real intention behind the design. If you're a remote worker who wants a coffee shop and a lunch spot within walking distance of your home office, put this one on your list. Canyon Oaks, and then there's the upscale end. Canyon Oaks is up against the foothills with a golf course running right through it. You have larger lots, you have bigger homes, you have gorgeous views. It's beautiful, it's exclusive, and I'll be honest with you, it comes with a consideration that the valley floor neighborhoods don't. And we're going to get into that in just a few minutes because it's a big deal. And speaking of the surrounding areas, don't sleep on the towns just outside of Chico. The real value is hidden in there. The nearby towns, such as Durham, just south of Chico, is rural, quiet, with strong schools and a little more breathing room. So people who want land and horse property love it there. Orville, to the southeast, sits with a big lake and gives you noticeably lower prices if you're willing to commute. And then there's Paradise and Magalia up in the foothills, which are rebuilding and often some of the most affordable prices in the country. Though these foothill areas carry that same consideration as Canyon Oaks that we are about to unpack. Okay, you got the feel and you've got the neighborhoods. Now let's talk money, because I know that's why a lot of you are here. So let me pull this all together for a second. Remember how we started with the idea of California homeowner is basically a closed door? We've now seen that Chico quietly reopened it with a downtown you can walk, neighborhoods with genuine character, and prices that make Bay Area folks do a double take. That's the promise I made you at the top, and it's real. But we've only gone halfway through this. We still need to talk about the actual numbers, the cost of living, and then the single most important thing that separates buyers who do great here and buyers who get nasty surprises at closing. And trust me, that revelation comes up is the part that I would want a friend to tell me before I ever made an offer. Before we go there, if you're seriously thinking about buying or relocating to Chico, go grab my relocation guide that lays out the neighborhoods, the school zones, the top employers, and the local details it takes hours to dig up on your own. It's completely free, no strings. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. So go grab it. The revelation, the valley floor versus the foothills, and the insurance reality. Here's the thing, almost every out-of-town buyer misses, and it's like the most important 4 minutes of this whole video, so stay with me. In Chico, 2 homes that look nearly identical, maybe a few miles apart, can have wildly different insurance costs and long-term value. And it comes down to one word, well, really 2, fire risk. Let me give you the honest context. California homeowners insurance market has been under real pressure. According to the California Department of Insurance and reporting on it that the insurers non-renewal, they did not renew millions of homeowner policies statewide between 2019 and 2025 in fire-prone areas. And a lot of the homeowners have had been pushed to the Cal FAIR Act plan, which is basically the last resort. And according to the FAIR Act plan, the FAIR Act plan received approval for an overall rate increase of about 29%, taking effect in the fall of 2026. Now, here is why I'm not saying any of this to scare you. And this is the nuisance that Zillow can't tell you. Most of Chico, the actual valley floor, where the bulk of the city lives, is at a low wildfire risk, according to Redfin's hazard data. The neighborhoods on like Northwest Chico and downtown core show minimal fire risk. The fire exposure is concentrated up in the foothills and the ridge neighborhoods, placed like the upper edges of like Canyon Oaks. You have Forest Ranch, Cohasset, and up towards Paradise and Magalia. Butte County fire devastation that had its fire in 2018, which is called the Camp Fire, devastated Paradise and Magalia, and that history is exactly why this matters so much. So what does that mean for you as a buyer? It means that smart move is to make sure that you plan ahead, that you don't fall in love with a house before you've actually looked at the insurance. A valley floor home in Chico might insure at a fairly normal rate, but a gorgeous foothill home with a view might come in with the FAIR plan that can cost thousands of dollars, double or triple what you would expect. And here's the empowering part. There are real levers you can pull. According to the FAIR plan, homeowners who harden their homes against fire, things like Class A roof, clearing debris, defensible space, and making sure there's the correct vents, and can qualify for meaningful discounts. So a foothill home isn't automatically off the table. It just needs to be a decision you make with your eyes open and a quote in your hand. This is the number one thing I tell every buyer moving from out of the area. Get the insurance quote early. Know which side of the valley and the foothill line your home sits on. And by doing that, you'll never be blindsided. Miss it, and this is a thing that can turn a dream home into a budget nightmare. That right there is the difference between shopping Chico like a tourist and buying like a local. Now that you know the one thing that can actually move the needle, let's zoom out to the everyday number, the cost of living and the market. The housing market and the cost of living in 2026. Let's ground this in the real numbers, and I want to be straight with you about something first. If you look up Chico median price, you're going to get different answers, and I want to explain why. According to Zillow, the typical home price in Chico for 2026 was around $463,000, down roughly 5.5% over the past year. According to Redfin's data, reporting through this year so far, the median sales price ran closer to $495,000 in June, up to June. And according to another website, we can keep doing this, it lands at $474,000. So which is right? Well, they all are. Zillow's numbers is a smooth index across every home in this town, while Redfin is the medium of the home prices that are actually sold that particular month, which can run higher when your nicer homes change hands. Blend them together, and the honest read is this: Chico is sitting somewhere in the mid to high $400,000 range, and the frenzy has cooled into a balanced market. And balanced is the key word here, because the days on market are looking to be about 49 days to sell. and going for about 99% of asking, with an inventory loosening up. So buyers are actually having room to breathe and negotiate, which is a very big difference and a big world of difference than those bidding wars that we had a few years ago. According to Redfin, homes were spending nearly more days on the market in 2026 than the year before. That's not a crash. I want to be very clear on that. And I am not in the business of scaring people. This market is more of a balanced market. And for a buyer, that's genuinely good news. Now, the cost of living. Renting here is relatively a bargain by California standards. According to the apartment.com, the average rent in Chico in 2026 was around $1,244 a month, which they note is meaningfully lower than the average, national rough, which is price, which is roughly $1,662. According to Zillow, the median rent across all homes were around $1,595. Either way, you're renting below the national level, which is honestly remarkable for California. That makes Chico a place that you can land for and rent for a few months to get a feel of what neighborhood and lifestyle you actually want to buy in. I always recommend that if you can swing it, rent first, get to know the neighborhood, and then buy. And then there's the no small thing of jobs. According to the California Employment Development Department, and the Chico County unemployment rate was about 5.6% in April of 2026. That was down from the month before. The economy here leans on a solid few anchors. You've got Inlow Health, the nonprofit medical center that's one of our area's largest employment and is opening a new comprehensive cancer center in 2026. Chico State as a major education employer. Butte County government and the homegrown company of Sierra Nevada Brewery is operating here in Chico. It's not a booming tech by any means, and I wouldn't pretend it is, but it is a stable, real economy, and remote workers stack beautifully on top of it. Quick word on schools, because I know parents are listening. Chico Unified District serves the city, and the district has a real range. So this is one where I always tell families to look at school by school rather than assuming. Chico State also anchors the town's education culture, and it's regularly recognized for strong returns on investing among public universities, which matters if you've got kids who will be a college bound. Download that relocation guide that I talked about earlier. Then you'll see the school zones, the breakdowns, because which street you buy on can change which school district your kids will attend. So let's tie the bow on this and come all the way back to where we started. We opened with the assumption that one that says that you want to give up on California to own a home, and look at what we have found. A town where a home costs roughly half of the state's average, where you can walk to farmers market under 100-year-old trees, where one of the biggest parks in the county is in your backyard, where the summers are hot, but the rest of the year is a gift, and where a balanced 2026 market means you can actually have negotiating power again. But here's the real reason I made this video, and it's the whole point. The people who thrive here aren't the ones who found the cheapest listing. They're the ones who understood the difference between the valley floor and the foothills, who got their insurance quote before they fell in love with that house, who chose the neighborhood that matched the way that they live. They actually want to live in their lifestyle. That knowledge is the entire game. It's the difference between moving to Chico and moving again in 2 years. California homeownership isn't a closed door. In Chico, it's a wide door. It's wide open. You just have to walk through it in the right way. So let's wrap up what we've covered. Chico is walkable. It's tree-covered college and valley town that gives you a real California life at roughly half of the statewide home price. Your neighborhood shapes everything from the historical charm of the avenues to the calm of Cal Park, to the walkable modern feel of Miriam Park, to the upscale foothill views of Canyon Oaks. The 2026 market has cooled into a balanced one, with homes in the mid to high $400,000 range, rents below the average, and a family cost of living about 11% under the California norm. And the single most important thing to get right is in knowing where your home sits on the valley to foothill fire line, because it drives your insurance and your long-term peace of mind. So get those pieces right, and Chico isn't just affordable for California, it's a place you'll actually want to live. Here's how we can help. If you're seriously thinking about moving to Chico, we would love to be your agents. I will tell you the truth about neighborhoods, even if it costs me the sale, because that's how you build a business, build a reputation. I've been doing this for 19 years, and I want you to find the perfect house for you. You can reach out to us directly. Our contact information is in the screen below and in the description, and you can reach out to us. It's us. It's not a call center. You will actually reach Keith or myself. If you're not quite ready to reach out yet, no pressure at all. Start with that free relocation guide I mentioned. It's got the neighborhood, the school zones, the top employers, and the local details all in one place. And it's linked in the description and pinned to the comments. It's the fastest way to get oriented before you ever pack one box. And if this was helpful, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe for the rest of the series. And I've got a video coming up next on the exact neighborhoods I would tell my own family to buy in, and the ones I would think twice about. I will drop it here when it's ready, so go check it out.